Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at Blacephalon. I wasn't able to showcase this Pokemon immediately when it came out because I was in hospital, but this Pokemon has definitely some punch there because we're going to have access to the new move or Mind Blown in this video as well. And Mind Blown is the strongest move ever created in Pokemon GO, and that is just a lot of fun. That doesn't mean that Blacephalon is good by any kind of stretch of the imagination, because this Pokemon itself just is quite bad, generally speaking, because it doesn't have any kind of bulk. The type itself has quite a few weaknesses, especially in the meta where Astonish and Mud Slap is around. Like, both of them doing super effective damage against you, like, you're gonna go down quite fast. But that being said, it's still a kind of fun Pokemon to run, and we want to showcase here today why this is the case, because honestly, having the option to just mind blown a Pokemon away is ridiculous. It's a lot of fun to run this Pokemon here today as well. And as you can see here, the Night Slash coming through from our Cradily, which is going to be our safe up for this team. In the back, our closer is of course going to be our final Pokemon here, the Dartrix. Dartrix is here in order to deal with Gastrodon. I was a bit worried about Gastrodon, and that's kind of why we have a grass and flying type Pokemon there. But in comes here yet another Mind Blown from Blacephalon, showcasing the animation again. We do not enough damage here for sure, but they got support back into the Marowak, where we're going to still have our Dartrix. We're gonna get enough false move damage in already, and we know that we're going to be able to knock them out in time. So good game to the opponent. We can move on to the next one, where we will face off against the Talonflame. I make a mistake here. How you want to play it is you actually want to go straight Mind Blown. There's no point of going for option 2. Against the Shadow version of Talonflame, you are not going to be able to get it to 2 moves anyways. That's a waste of time to go up there. Like, that is my fault here. And this could cost me the entire battle as well, because now the opponent has a ton of energy. I am forced to use a shield here now. The opponent is at basically 100 before, now they are at 10 energy. And it comes a third, which is not, again, a nice matchup for us. We have to swap out here into our Dartrix. We are gonna take the opponent Swift, I guess, and we have to still hit them with a Brave Bird in order to knock them out. We are not in a powered position here at all. We are going to be able, though, to go ahead and just let the move go. There's going to be the Swift coming through. We can try our best to go for the Brave Bird here, as we're gonna get up a ton of energy against the opponent. This is going to allow us to knock them out. And let's see what's coming in next. It's going to be the Talonflame again. We can go for the Seed Bomb. They're very likely not even going to use a shield here because they don't need to. And as we will see here as well, there's going to be the Obstagoon in the back. And while we can go for super effective fast move pressure, the Dig here as well, we are not in a position where we're going to have a lot of fun here, because we're not going to be in a position where we're going to be able to win in this kind of way. As we will see here, they are going to be able to go for the cross chop. I let the move go, and we can move on to the next opponent. And we have a horrible lead for us. A horrible lead here. We are gonna see the sub out as well from the opponent to Fletchinder, which is honestly okay for me, because I outspeed them. And I think I 2-shot them with a Night Slash here, which is going to be alright. So, Night Slash coming through. A lot of times I actually got boost as well with Night Slash in today's video, most likely as well. I did do a lot more battles with Blacephalon. Trust me, it's not the Pokemon that you want to run if you want to climb. It's a Pokemon that you want to run if you want to have some fun. And as we'll see here as well, there's going to be the Fly coming through from the opponent. They swap back into their Marowak, which will now allow me to go into my Dartrix. Dartrix is going to have a little bit more pressure against the opponent. Both our fast moves as well as our charge moves going to do more damage here. And we are going to be able to go for the Seed Bomb, which would easily knock out the opponent. And as we will see here, the Seed Bomb is going to be able to get the KO. And we're going to try our best to move on. As you're going to have the Fletchinder coming in, we can go for another Seed Bomb, which would knock out the opponent's Fletchinder here as well. Which is going to be the case. And now it's the final Pokemon, the Shadow Talonflame. But I'm actually not in the worst position, because what I can do is I can go for the Mind Blown here, expecting the opponent to go straight for the move, which they do. This will allow me to get the final shield from the opponent. We are now, of course, at -4 defense, which is kind of wild. And the Fly will most likely knock out 20 million Blacephalon. But we're actually in a position where we still have some chance of winning, as we can now go for a Night Slash and a Dig and to knock them out. I know that another Night Slash would have been easy enough here as well. I knew that at the time as well. But why not just go for the Dig and knock them out as well? So, we're going to have here the Fearow against us. This is going to be a matchup where you can just go for the Mind Blown against the opponent as well. This is going to be fine. This is going to allow us to get some damage. But this swap out actually into the Clodsire, which is a very smart choice, because now I'm actually in a really tough position. as they still have the Fear with energy, which is tough for my backline, generally speaking. And yeah, basically the team idea, by the way, behind the team, you kind of want to run the Macago or the other Pokemon, what's called? The other rock and fire type Pokemon, Colossal, in the lead instead, which will allow you then to also counter those flying type Pokemon. This is how the team is designed. The team isn't designed around Blacephalon. I just want to give Blacephalon a try here as well because I haven't been able to use it yet. I actually did battles with it for the Great League, and I wanted to actually showcase as well still for the Great League, but my voice was completely gone for the last few days. Now it's only slowly coming back, as you can hear as well. But we're gonna see here the attack boost from the Shadow Gligar, which is fantastic. As we will see the Seed Bomb getting shielded up, we're gonna be able to force the shield from the opponent. Because of the attack boost, I decided to shield here anyway, because what we can do now, we can go for the Night Slash, get the shield from the opponent again, and they're forced to go for the Shadow Ball basically straight away. They should be even to farm down range now from our Dartrix, doing some super effective fast move damage here with Peck. And yes, we can knock them out, and with it, we are going to be able to win this battle, as the Fearow is gonna go down to that Seed Bomb as well. Or we can move on into the next opponent. So, Bibarel against us. So this is going to be alright. We're going to stop out here into our Gligar, and we're going to be able to now go for another Night Slash against the opponent as well. We're going to use a shield. This is going to be... Yeah, to be fair, Bibarel is quite a bit of an awkward Pokemon. Having super effective coverage against both our elites as well as our... actually against all of our Pokemon has some super effective coverage, because the entire team is weak to water or rock type damage. But as we will see here, there's going to be the Scaldage coming in, and I decided to use a shield. I try my best here in order to catch a move onto my other Pokemon, onto my elite here again, because I knew at least I'm going to be able to take some, again, another attack boost, which is kind of crazy. At least can take a hit here. I should have went one fast move earlier, actually, because then I would have been able to get the Incinerate through. But I sub onto the Bibarel anyway. I can go into my Dartrix, and we should be able to go for the full farm down. Hyper Fang will not be enough to knock us out. If they have Hyper Beam, we will be getting one shot, but we're still gonna be able to survive this one. In comes the Scale Dodge. I'm gonna go for the Brave Bird, but it's not looking too good for us yet, as this move is going to be able to knock them out, so we still have the chance here. But in comes here the Licky, and while I actually going to be able to go for yet a Night Slash and then another charge move afterwards, it's going to be a bit of a uphill battle, as they're still going to have a shield left. They would need to like knock them out here somehow now, but the opponent decides to actually let the move go. And the battle was closer than I expected, but of course I had already a charge move stored there that they could have used. Now we can move on to the next opponent, who runs also a Blacephalon in the lead. Okay, my goal was here to actually farm them down, but they sub out before that, so like I have to now go for the Seed Bomb, which knock out the opponent's Cradily here. I don't see them shielding. And now I'm actually in a Pokemon advantage, which is kind of great. And even if they would go back into their Blacephalon, I would be able to go for some fast move damage against them. As they go up to their final one, I can just shield here and knock them out, because they go for the Mind Blown, which drops the defense. The fast move that I just did is going to be enough to knock them. And now I can just go ahead and go for the bait here, which is actually great that this works out, because as you can see, the opponent decides to use a shield, and they wouldn't need to do that all the time. And now I won the battle already, because I have here the Brave Bird, and I have on the Blacephalon also the Mind Blown. So I would have won no matter what here at this point. Alright, 2 cannon. In comes here now the Bibarel, and we're gonna try our best here, as we're gonna have our charge move coming through. This is going to be the Seed Bomb coming in against the Bibarel, and we do some solid damage, not enough to knock them out, but as long as they don't have Hyper Beam, we are going to be in a very solid position here. They have Hyper Beam, and they knock me out straight away, which is unfortunate, but we can go for the at least full Fury Cutter down, as they reveal their own 2 cannon, which I'm going to try to just soften up a little bit here by going for the Night Slash against the opponent. In comes now, the Blaziken from the opponent, and we go for the hard-hitting Mind Blown here against the opponent as well. We can even reach another move in time, but I kind of misplay this a little bit by dropping my defenses that early. I should have most days stayed in for a little bit longer before throwing my moves. But it's alright, because now we have 2 shields for our Gligar. I'm going to shield up the first move here from the opponent, which is going to be a Blaze Kick, which means they're very likely are not going to run Blast Burn. You wouldn't give up Aura Sphere in A, this meta, and B, just generally on Blaziken, because it's just such an overpowered move. So, as we will see here, in comes now the 2 cannon from the opponent, the Drill Pick comes in. We are going to try our best here to go for a Night Slash against them as well. This is going to be fine. This is going to do some solid damage. And in comes here the Blaziken, which you can go for a Night Slash against as well, but we sadly die on the final HP. Alright, Maverick and Elite is going to be alright because we have our backline that's really good against them. They stay in here as well. I think I could have maybe misplayed this battle. I think this is a battle that I could have played definitely a little bit better. But let's see on how things gonna go. We are going to be able to just let the move go here. It's going to be the rock set from the opponent. And in comes the Ferret. They still have 1 HP left basically on their Pokemon. Ferret is alright. We don't have the best answer to this Pokemon here, to the Ferret. But it's okay, we can still go for a dig here, and this kind of threatens the opponent quite a bit. The thing is as well, Ferret can farm me down, but all of their energy is actually going to be resisted onto our Blacephalon here, so I'm thinking I should be kind of fine here letting this move go. And they're actually going to have Brick Break, which is even better for us, but I'm still going to stop here because I don't want to get hit by the Sucker Punch while my defense is even lowered. And so Brick Break is coming in here from the opponent as well against our Dartrix, which is fine because we let the move go. We are going to be able to now go for a Brave Break against the opponent, dropping our defense a little bit, but getting a ton of damage in against them. I can let the move go and hope that my Mind Blown user is going to win this. But this was a big mistake here because I forgot about Maverick. As you can see, Maverick is not going to be able to knock us out here, but just gonna get us a little bit too low. As now, yeah, I have 2 moves to out, but I'm gonna get hit by this fast move from the Ferret, and that means we're going to lose this battle here, sadly. I could have played way better. I still have a shield left. I should just shield the Dartrix, to be fair, and I would have most likely won this battle here. Second to last battle, we have Blaziken against us, and we're gonna try our best to go for some Mind Blown action. Let's see on how we're gonna deal with it. Actually, we can just go for the full farm now. Never mind. Okay, we're gonna end up with 100 energy on Blacephalon. Orusir comes through. Okay, never mind. I have to go for a charge, but still, it actually does knock them out. They decide to go ahead and go for a shield somehow. And I can go for another move here. And if they shield again, I'm most likely knock them out through the shield with this move. And I do, which is ridiculous. In comes the opponent's Dartrix, which is kind of neutral for us. This is going to be just a seed bomb, so I can let them, of course, through straight away. There's nothing really else could be happening here. And we're going to try our best to go for a Night Slash against the opponent, as this is going to be enough now to get some damage in at least against them. I can go for another move here. I might even be able to knock them out with my Blacephalon again afterwards, but let's see. They're going to knock us out here. That's going to be fine. I'm going to let the move go. Can Blacephalon actually win us this battle? Let's find out. We can knock them out here. Can we knock out that final Pokemon from them? It is going to be the Cradily. Shadow Ball still does a tiny bit more damage than Mind Blown if you only get to 1 move, so like it's fine to go for the Shadow Ball here. And we nearly knocked out the entire opponent's team just with Blacephalon here. But in comes now, of course, our Dartrix, which can now finish up the job. What a battle this was. This was actually so far my favorite battle of this video. And let's see on how the final one is gonna play out. Alright, Cradily against us. That's okay. We are going to be able to go for the Mind Blown against the opponent early, getting a shield early, allowing us to swap out afterwards as well if we want to. I can stay in for even one more time as well. Shield, just get another shield from the opponent, and I should be kind of right to swap out then afterwards because none of my shield's down. But they should swap out into the Vigoroth, which now has to take a Mind Blown, which does so much damage against the opponent. But I'm actually more surprised on how little it did, but we are debuffed in terms of our attack. That's why I didn't put them straight into the red health, which would have allowed us to farm them all the way down as well. But as we see, we can go for Night Slash, but I actually didn't want to go for it anymore because there was a CP tie. I thought I would be able to outspeed the opponent, but it is fine. We are going to have now the Cradily coming in. I have to now use a shield for sure in order to align myself and in order to keep on my energy. And we are going to be debuffed as well at the same time. But at least I'm going to be able to go for the Night Slash here. The Cradily is going to go down here as well. And as we'll see, we are going to have the Blaziken coming in next. I go for the bait, hoping for the shield. They're kind of forced to use a shield here anyway. And I can swap out of here as well into my Dartrix, forcing them to go for a charge move quite early. But yeah, they decided to go for the move here now. I should be able to outspeed the opponent as it's going to be a blast me anyway. I go for the safe play to go into the Blacephalon. They're going to have to go for another Orusir and knock me out, and now I have easily enough to get to a dig. Good game to the opponent, very close battle, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.